Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines here on Reno Public Radio. I'm Dana O'Connor. My guests are Alicia Barber. She's a writer and historian here in Reno. Also, Donnie Curtis. She's head of special collections at the Knowledge Center here at UNR. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you ladies are stressed and harried because you just came from a big celebration of Reno's 146th birthday and the launch of something that you've been working on for almost 2 years now, an historical app for Reno. This is such a great idea. I've been playing with the app for a couple days. I can't believe how cool it is. Whose idea was this?
Whose idea was it?
It was yours, Alicia.
Okay. This is something that I'd really been interested in doing for a long time. I've got colleagues across the country who are historians who've worked on putting together place-based apps and websites about their city's histories. And it was something I was really interested in doing so we could try to get people to understand a little bit more about Reno's history in the most accessible, free way that we could, which is through a free smartphone app and an accompanying website, which it also functions as.
Very accessible. You just go to renohistorical.org. Beautiful graphics come up. You get to click on whatever you want to learn about. And then when you click on a site, it takes you to text, photos, detailed documents explaining that particular site in Reno. It's fascinating.
And it has the opportunity for audio and video, and it can be a full multimedia experience, which is what we were really interested in doing.
And that's still under development, but there is some audio, some video, and a lot more sites that will be coming along also.
Well, this is something that you could probably add to for the next 50 years as things go on.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the plan. We're launching because we feel like we have a critical mass of stuff. We have enough to really tell a lot of good stories. But we have at least twice as much material in development right now, I think, when you say that.
I would say 4 times as much.
That we're working on that we'll try to get out really within the next few months. Mm-hmm. And then it can really expand infinitely. It's like space. It can keep going on and on. There's so many stories to tell. And that's what's exciting about a digital project is that it never has to end.
It never has to end. That's really true. We're talking with Donnie Curtis and Alicia Barber. There's a new app out about the history of Reno. It's called renohistorical.org. A free mobile app puts the history of Reno right in the palm of your hand. And there's a big celebration of the event coming up tomorrow in downtown Reno, starting around 2 o'clock, 2 to 5. We'll talk about the festivities tomorrow in just a moment. But first of all, where do you get the material for the app? The photos, I assume, come from special collections, Donnie?
About half of the photos are from special collections, but the others are from the Nevada Historical Society. Sometimes we have to go out to the churches or the schools or the organizations or the people who are occupying the buildings and get some of the historical photos that they've collected. Other individuals have collected postcards, and they've got their own photo collections. So we're just getting them from everywhere in Reno.
And people have been incredibly generous with these. I mean, people have been coming out of the woodwork. I wasn't aware of how many people collected historic postcards in Reno, I think.
Right?
These people are obsessed. I appreciate that. I appreciate historical obsession. But so many. And those are really terrific because Reno was so widely publicized by postcards that I think there are more postcards in Reno for any other city that I've seen, and not just of the landmarks and the arch, but of the business districts and the commercial buildings. And it just offers us a real view of the city that I think a lot of people haven't seen before.
I like that people are willing to give you their stuff. And because it's a digital platform, they can give you things. You can scan them, get them in there. It's not like you're taking their photos and putting them off in a museum somewhere where they're not going to be able to access them. So they get to share their stuff with everybody and still retain the original copies. Now, speaking of postcards, I was flipping through and I flipped on the Ross Manor, which was the Colonial Hotel. Beautiful postcard with his house right next to Ross Manor, down on the corner of 1st and West Streets where there's a park right now. I didn't realize people had their homes right in downtown Reno at that time.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's a great picture of the colonial apartments because in some of the postcards, that house is there and then suddenly it's gone, in its little courtyard. But yes, downtown Reno is just this whole amalgamation of residences and hotels and commercial buildings and stores and shops and churches and schools. And what we really liked about this platform in particular that we're using is that it's map-based. So you can actually see where all these things are in relation to each other and see what places have changed over time. We have some places there that don't exist anymore. We wanted to achieve a real balance of sites that are still there because one of our major goals was to show how historic Reno is. But we also wanted to show a lot of sites that weren't there. And so the map allows you to, kind of demonstrate all of this together and see how Reno's changed over time and how much has remained the same.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like the change over time. So you're standing at a corner, maybe there's a vacant lot there. You can pull up the app, click on that spot, and see what would have been there in the past. That's very cool.
And you can have a dot on the app where you are, too. You can activate the GPS.
The app can work so you're actually walking around and you want to see what's near you. But you can also use the website version of it equally well. That comes up on phones also, but it also can be used just from anywhere.
So to download the app itself, we should tell people that it's at the app stores, the Apple App Store for iPhones, and it's also on the Android platform at the Android App Store. And if you're getting it at the App Store, it's Reno Historical. That's the name of the app. 2 words.
We're talking about renohistorical.org, the new website and app. My guests are Alicia Barber and Donnie Curtis. Alicia is a writer and historian here in Reno. Donnie is the head of the Special Collections section at the Knowledge Center here at UNR. The app we're talking about is renohistorical.org. You can find it at the Apple or Android app stores, or just head to the website, renohistorical.org. Now, this venture is huge. I know you've been working on it for almost 2 years. Who supported the app, the historical app?
Well, we got some grant funding early on, which was incredibly helpful from the Institute of Museum and Library Services.
Through the State Library. Mm-hmm. And we also got a grant from Nevada Humanities to get the software and the support for that for 2 years. That was a really important grant.
We got some seed money from HARPS, the Historic Reno Preservation Society. The Regional Transportation Commission has taken a real interest, particularly in 4th Street. So a lot of the 4th Street sites are sponsored by the RTC. We have funding from the library, has contributed funding, and the Office of Communications. And other people are just contributing in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of the archives that would typically charge for photos are donating those things for free. So there's really a lot of in-kind donations, too. And that's so heartening for something that's operating really on a shoestring.
And we've had volunteers doing some of the writing and editing and finding photos.
Now, can people contribute to the project if they want?
Absolutely. I mean, I think if people can go to the website and contact us through the website, if they have information, if they have photos, if they have sites they'd like to see, we'd really love to hear from everybody about what they'd like to see included. We may have some sites in development that they're already interested in. They may have photos that can help supplement some sites that we have. We have a Twitter feed, which is at Reno Historical. People could contact us that way. And we'd love to try to put together some sites that could, help fulfill those desires. It's something that we've really wanted to do here is make sure that this is not only accessible but accurate. You know, it's sort of at the preeminent goal here is to have accurate information about Reno's history, and so people can contribute to that in so many ways. And then we can put these sites together and know that when people find this site, they can trust the material that they're finding there.
If you're curious, head downtown tomorrow from 2 to 5 p.m. There's a group of people down there waiting to talk to you about the app. What else is going to be happening downtown, Alicia?
So yes, this is the biggest little birthday celebration in honor of Reno's birthday, which is May 9th, so today. But, this is the all-important 146th birthday.
146.
Which I think is the official term is the sesquicentennial -4.
Very nicely done.
But we thought it was a really great time to kick off, Reno Historical. So, yes, there will be a lot of history-based activities downtown. There are going to be some photo ops. There will be some costume people. There's going to be gold panning. There will be birthday cake at several locations.
Yay.
On Reno Historical right now, we've got a special tour you can see called the Biggest Little Birthday Tour. And the 12 sites right along the river corridor are associated with that, and they're all in walking distance. You go to any one of those and see some of the folks who are going to be leading these activities and telling you a little bit more about them.
Some people are going to be wearing costumes. They're going to hand out play money. There's little contests, and then they can use the money to bid on deeds for the original sites of Reno.
Yes, we'll have a reenactment of the original auction of Reno town sites at the end. So people can use the money they accumulated at the different sites to purchase a big lot.
And then you can head on over to Harrah's and try to cash that in.
You can try.
Try.
Good luck with that, but you can definitely try.
And I think there will be birthday cake.
Yes, there will be edibles. So it'll be a lot of fun. And the city and the Riverwalk merchants and a lot of the downtown folks have been very supportive of this. And of course, the Virginia Street Bridge is going to be demolished later this summer.